Coming up tonight on Primetime Local News, the Lloyd Men's Shelter was discussed at Rotary today. Plus, PBR took place over the weekend in Lloyd. And Pets Purpose will be hosting a Christmas raffle.
Primetime Local News, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
The executive director of the Lloydminster Men's Shelter spoke at today's Rotary Club of Lloydminster meeting. Kagan Neen, the executive director of the shelter, discussed the upcoming Coldest Night of the Year walk, where people get the opportunity to see the challenges homeless people face in the winter firsthand.
We're going to do a 2-kilometer or a 5-kilometer loop around the downtown core, walk right by the shelter as well to help drive awareness for the challenges that our unhoused community members who currently aren't staying in a shelter, that aren't able to couch surf, are truly living each and every day, not having somewhere to actually stay warm.
Neen says that events like the Coldest Night of the Year are important in bringing awareness to the conditions that homeless people are stuck living in throughout the winter.
Until you've actually experienced the cold, obviously we've grown up in Alberta, Saskatchewan, or Canada. We understand what cold weather is like, but typically it's jumping into our vehicles and then going back into our homes or to our works. So the fact that these individuals don't have somewhere to warm up.
Anyone interested in participating in the Coldest Night of the Year walk can register at cony.org. The walk will take place on February 22nd. It's time to go back in the archives with our weekly edition of Retrospect. Here's our Nick Hott.
This week on Retrospect, we travel back to 1994 for a look into the Western Canadian Boxing Championship and how boxers prepare for the event.
Well, the Lloydminster Boxing Club's fight card they held during the summertime did not attract the big crowd they were expecting. Nonetheless, the card helped the border city land the biggest fight card in this city has seen in a very long time, with the Western Canadian Boxing Championship next week.
Saskatchewan bid for it last year to host the Western Canadians, and they were going to host it in Saskatoon. But after our fight card in Lloydminster, they approached me and asked if we'd hold it here. We're more centralized. We've got a very good building for it.
Well, the championship will give the club and the sport great exposure. It also gives 3 local boxers a chance to show their stuff against some of the best.
I hope it's a good fight card and I'll get some good challenge, and then I think I might be going to the Winter Games in, I think, February.
What guys are you going to be boxing against? What do you know about them, and what do you have to do to win?
Well, I've boxed these guys before. One of them I boxed at Golden Gloves in Alberta, and one I boxed in Grand Prairie, and the other one I haven't boxed yet. He's from BC.
How much does the training like you guys are doing right now, or the training you guys will be doing even next week, how does that impact you in the ring? How does it maybe change the way if you can win or lose?
Yeah, it gives you more wind if you train longer and builds up your endurance.
I expect our club to do best than any other club. Been training real hard for this all year. I should easily win this fight. I've fought everyone from Alberta, I know, Manitoba. London's coming over, but they have no one our weight, so should be Alberta and London on Saturday, fight card.
Well, boxing fans will get to see 3 of our city's best in the ring at the Western Canadians. Also, fans get to see some of the country's best, including Edmonton's Walt Fleming, along with a national-level British team.
Walt Fleming is from the Cougar Club in Edmonton. Walt fought in the Commonwealth Games out in Victoria. He beat out Jamie Strange in Grand Prairie last summer for a berth on the team. He'll be here. He'll be competing in our Western Canadian Championship, and he'll also be boxing a British fighter too on Saturday night.
The opening fight card of the Western Canadians goes Friday, October the 28th at 7 o'clock at the Dick Jones Sales Pavilion. They'll be the first of 4 fight cards in Lloydminster that weekend. Greg Buchanan, NewsHour Sports.
Next, we jump forward to 1999 for a look into how stores prepare for Christmas season shopping.
It's the last Christmas of the century, and that means it's also the busiest shopping season of the year. For retailers, Christmas can be a profitable season with a little bit of planning and a lot of merchandise in stock.
Christmas is our most important season. We do about 40% of our sales in 2 months, the month of November and December, especially in our toy department and our electronics departments. They've been fantastic in sales so far.
And the busiest place in any store is likely to be the toy department. That's where you'll find many customers testing out the merchandise and making their Christmas wishes.
Every year there's one item on the hot list that kids just have to have. This year the hottest toy is an old favorite with a new angle. Millennium Barbie sold out in less than 24 hours, leaving retailers scrambling to get more in before Christmas. Of course, there is still Pokemon, another favorite. The shelves are filled at the moment, but that could quickly change.
Pokemon is a craze that spread across the country. Kids are anxious to get their hands on Pokemon cards and games, and retailers are busy trying to keep them in stock.
Pokemon is definitely what kids are looking for at school. They're trading the cards, and that's been really important to us.
But Pokemon hasn't grabbed everyone's attention. These kids will be asking Santa for something else.
A ball.
A ball? What kind of ball?
There's cherries on it.
Oh, he wants a combine, a toy combine, and anything, tractors, trucks.
And while the millennium has left its mark on this Christmas, retailers say that there is still a push to keep things simple.
It's been a very traditional season for toys this year. Of course, everybody knows about Pokemon and all its gadgets and gimmicks, but very much so people are going back to basic toys such as board games, the Monopolies, Trivial Pursuit.
With all of the options that shoppers have, everything from Barbies, cars, toys that sing and dance, this Christmas promises to be one that everyone will remember. Rochelle Chandria, NewsHour.
And that's all for this week of Retrospect.
Retrospect is brought to you by Webb's Machinery. Find New Holland products at Webb's Machinery, your dealer in Vermilion, Vegreville, Lamont, Wainwright, St. Paul, and Consort.
Joining me now to take a first look at our evening weather is Thomas Wildman. We definitely got quite a dump of snow over the weekend.
Yeah, unfortunately, I had to dig through it 3 or 4 times, and I still need to clean up from Saturday's dump, yes. But yeah, it was lots of snow, but it's good for our cattle and crop producers. They really needed that moisture for their dugouts and to replenish the soil reserves. So as much as it may suck on the roads right now, it's actually very good for our climate and for all of our friends out in the fields right now. Looking forward to the rest of this week, we're going to be seeing these cold temperatures usually stick around, unfortunately. I don't think we're going to be seeing a huge dump of snow again like that, but yeah, the cold temperatures are now here to stay. It is officially now winter because that's just how it works in the windy city of Lloydminster. Once that big first snow and the big cold comes, it's here for a while, except for last year when in December it got really warm, but then we nearly froze in January, so it'll be lots of fun. At Lloydminster Airport today, we had a high of 16 and a low of -26. That's plenty colder than the usual normals of -1 and -11. As we can see here, that the average precipitation in November is usually 16 millimeters. We have 15.7 millimeters, and I guarantee you like 90% of that was from, Saturday's snowfall and on Sunday as well. Currently at the Lloydminster Airport, it's -17. With the wind chill, we're getting down to -24. That's south wind, not being too friendly to us here in the windy city. North Battleford, on the other hand, is nice and calm with their wind, so they're just at a flat -18 today. A little bit of sun for them as well will definitely be appreciated. Cold Lake is at -14 right now. With the wind chill, they're all the way down to -20 with an east 9-kilometer wind hitting them hard as of now. Taking a look at the current temperatures, we're seeing pretty similar temperatures across the area. Lloydminster at -17. Then continuing on the Alberta side, we've got -14 for Cold Lake, Bonnyville, St. Paul, and in Edmonton, then -15 for Vegreville and Vermilion, -16 in Wainwright, -19 in Provost, and -13 up in Lac La Biche. On the Saskatchewan side, -16 in Isle Cross, Pierceland, and then St. Walburg and Meadow Lake are at -18. Green Lake, Maidstone at -17, and then North Battleford at -20 with Macklin at -19. Taking a look at tonight's forecast, North Battleford is going to have a low of -25. It's going to be overcast and very cold, and we'll see a 25% chance of precipitation. Cold Lake's going to have a low of -22, mainly clear and very cold, and precipitation 60% is not very likely. And here in Lloydminster, it's going to be a low of -26, partly cloudy and very cold. 20% chance of precipitation there, so we hopefully won't be seeing anything too major. And then taking a look at the 3-day forecast, tomorrow we're going to see some low clouds, so be careful of that in your morning commutes and your commutes in general. Low of -20 there. Wednesday is going to be very cloudy and very cold. Low of -16 down to -23 for your low. And Thursday it's going to get even colder at a high of -18 and a low of -26. Mostly cloudy and very cold. So some very unfortunate temperatures coming up over these next 3 days, and especially when you're getting down low. So if you haven't got your winter tires, you should get them now, and make sure that you're bundled up no matter where you are out and about in Lloydminster or anywhere nearby. That will do it for our first look at the weather forecast. We will have an extended look at the weather forecast later on in the show, but for now we will have some more news headlines.
The PBR Canada season begins here in the border city of Lloydminster with the electric PBR Winter Classic. Our Thomas Wildman has more on the outstanding event.
Some of the best bull riders from Canada, the United States, and Australia were at the Lloyd X for the PBR Winter Classic, which is a favorite location for PBR Canada events.
We're over 2 decades producing PBR events here in Lloydminster now, so it's just it's second nature to make sure we're back every fall and now winter, and we obviously we look forward to it. It's the kickoff to the 2025 season where these guys are all starting all over again to try to qualify for Rogers Place in Edmonton and get their piece of that $250,000 in prize money.
The bull riders are all world-class athletes, but in the PBR, the bulls also have their own standings, and one of the prominent breeders of the beasts operates just outside of Lloydminster and loves bringing his stock out to events near and far.
We've had a great year, man. I can't complain. We just finished 2 weeks ago in Edmonton at Rogers Place. We won the 2024 PBR Canada Finals Bull. So we got Piper here again tonight. He's in the second round, and then in the ABBI side of things, we've got Breeder of the Year and won some accolades with some young calves. So our breeding program's getting to where we want to be, and we're pretty excited.
The first round of bulls were fierce, with the majority of the riders getting bucked off. 2 riders had exceptional complete rides, with Jake Gardner scoring an 85 and Tyler Craig getting an 86.5. In the second round, the bulls continued to be exceptional, with only 4 riders having 2 successful rides on the night. Tyler Craig, who led before the second round, controlled his destiny and chose to ride the elite Piper Bull from Foley Bucking Bulls. He got an impressive 87, securing him the victory, and puts the young rider from Crossfield, Alberta, atop the PBR standings.
It was really good. I had a really good first bull. I'd been on him twice before, and that sets you up for the second round because we get to pick the second round. And I knew the second bull I got on, Piper, I knew he was a really good bull. Seen him a couple weeks ago at the finals, and was glad it all worked out.
And that will do it for another fantastic PBR Winter Classic. For Primetime Local News, I'm Thomas Wildman.
Pets Purpose Animal Shelter Society is getting into the Christmas spirit by holding their Cozy Christmas raffle with 1 grand prize to be won. Abby St. John has more on how to buy the tickets.
I'm very happy to be joined here today by Janie Dick. She's the Secretary of Pets Purpose Animal Shelter Society. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Now, today we're going to be talking about the Cozy Christmas Raffle. We have some of the items that are up for grabs for this raffle. So first, can we start off in talking about what it is and how people can get involved?
Okay, it's one great prize. It has a handmade quilt from Mel Holt. That's just absolutely stunning. And then Sheepskin Loft has given us a gift certificate plus a sheepskin cushion, and then we added some internal warmers to go with it, so it all together makes a cozy Christmas.
Yes, for sure. I absolutely love it. Now, how does the raffle? How will the raffle work? Whether you're how you're selling tickets.
Yep.
I know you guys have started selling tickets on Saturday, and there are certain locations and times. So, how does purchasing tickets work for this raffle?
Okay, we ask for cash. We're selling in person, but not online. We got our license for an in-person raffle. We are in various locations. This coming Thursday, we're at the Co-op Marketplace from 3 until 7. On, let me see, check the date, the 7th of December, the Saturday, we're at Superstore from noon until 4. On the 12th of December, we're back at the Co-op, but from 2 until 6. And on the 13th of December, we're at Sheepskin Loft, who is one of our donees. And if we still have a few tickets on the 21st of December, we'll be selling at Canadian Tire from noon until 4. These businesses have been generously given us space so that we can sell in person. We have the items on display at that time, and you can also approach any member of the board or through our Facebook page. We will be happy to sell you tickets.
And as a non-for-profit, which is what you guys are, what does this money go towards when you do have fundraisers like this Christmas raffle?
All of our fundraisers go to support our rescued dogs, and that means vet bills, food, things like pee pads and other supplies, and toys, you know, because we all need toys. Everything that our foster parents need to support their housing of our dogs and training of our dogs, we supply, and that's what all the money goes to.
Wonderful. Now, in regards to this raffle, if anybody has any questions, or maybe they might miss one or two of these days selling, where can they go to find that information or contact you?
We have a Facebook page, Pets Purpose, and you can also go to our website, which is petspurpose.com, but I would recommend the Facebook page because that has links to everything.
Wonderful. And finally, when will this draw be made?
The 23rd of December. So this will be somebody's just about Christmas present.
Yes, wonderful. And the quilt is absolutely gorgeous. I know it'll make whoever wins it very cozy and happy this Christmas. So thank you so much for joining me, and I do wish you the best of luck for this year's Christmas raffle.
Thank you so much.
Now let's take a look at your pets of the day.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to have them featured on Pet of the Day.
The Lloydminster Rock and Gem Show is coming up at the end of the month. Stacy Comer has more on what is planned.
There's a special event happening towards the end of November here in Lloydminster, and it's something that's really unique. I've attended these before, and it's just so much fun. It's a gem show, a rock and gem show, and I'm joined today by Chris Roback with Silver Cove. Chris, you are the owner of that, and you are responsible basically for making the show happen. So thank you for joining me today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
So this event is going to be in Lloydminster, November 29th to December the 1st at the Lloyd X grounds, and it's a rock and gem show. So tell me, what does that mean when people come in the doors? What can they expect?
Yeah, well, Rock and Gem Show basically has anything and everything to do with the rock and mineral industry. Jewels, like you're talking about the facets of gemstones, the jewelry, the mineral specimens, the fossils, the bead strands, anything really gem related, even gem trees and carved gemstones, and all kinds of different avenues when it comes to the gem and mineral industry you'd find at the event.
So when you are going and looking at the different booths there, is there an opportunity to purchase some of these, and are there educational opportunities as well?
Yeah, there certainly is. I mean, everything at the show has a price tag on it. I mean, there's things up there that are, you know, up to $15,000 for some of the items that are on the tables, but they start at $1. So we kind of try to cover the entire part of the industry. Yeah, there's definitely an educational side of things as well. Because we do a lot of our own mining, you're going to see things at the event that you won't see anywhere else. And I mean, definitely asking questions, talking with some of the staff and some of the other vendors are definitely a great way to learn more about the items that are for sale on the tables, as well as some of the items that are just there in general, you know, for sure.
I've attended these before, and I was so impressed when I walked in because it wasn't really what I expected. You mentioned the part about fossils. When I attended, there was some fossilized, I think it was trilobites that they had in stone, and it's just so interesting. So, how do you bring all these different facets of people together for an event like this?
Oh, that's the fun part. Because gem and mineral vendors are specialized niche markets. So I mean, sometimes to track down some of these vendors, they come from far away. Like I have some vendors that will come from as far away as Ontario to some of our events. You know, it's very difficult to find some of these vendors, and when we do find them, we tend to hold on to them because they're pretty precious, literally. But you'll find vendors at these events that do wire wrapping, beadwork, silversmithing, a huge range of different types of vendors you'll find at our events that specialize in all kinds of different facets of the industry, that's for sure.
And you are looking for a few more vendors for the Lloydminster show. So, how can people, if they are interested in joining the show and being part of it, how do they apply for that?
Hey, just log on to cangems.ca. Once again, to cangems.ca, and you can apply the applications online and just fill it out and send it in.
Is there a charge to get into the event as well, an admission fee?
Yeah, we're charging $3 a head to get in, and it's $7 per family.
All right. Well, again, this is just, it's, if you haven't been before, it's really hard to kind of articulate how cool it is when you walk in and you see all these different things. And one thing I'd like to mention too is this is definitely something for all ages. Like you see some of the younger kids there that are interested in, you know, what they might think are rocks, but it turns out to be quartz or some other different minerals. So this is definitely a family friendly event, correct?
Absolutely, absolutely. And the event this year is actually much larger than any of the previous Lloydminster shows we've ever hosted. It's over 375 tables. That's a lot. So whether you're a farmer that likes to pick up shiny rocks out of their fields, or you're a homemaker that lives in town that likes to make jewelry, or you're a hobbyist mineral collector, or maybe a home decor designer, there's something for everybody at this event.
And also might be a good unique idea for Christmas presents for those hard to buy for people. You could definitely find something that is out of the ordinary if you have trouble deciding what you could buy for certain family members as well.
Isn't that the truth? Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't want a fossilized piece of poop in their stocking, right?
Well, it's one way to send a message for sure, I guess.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much again for joining me, Chris. I appreciate it. So once again, that is November 29th to December 1st at the Lloyd X. And if people are looking for more information just on the show, and like you said, if you wanted to apply as a vendor, where is the best to find all that information online?
Yeah, you just log on to cangems.ca, and the application is online, and fill her out and send her in.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And we will see you here at the end of November.
You bet. Thank you.
Coming up after the break, Thomas Wildman will give us a look at our wild winter weather.
Welcome back, folks. We're going to take a quick look at the current temperatures across the central region of Alberta and Saskatchewan here right now. Lloydminster at -17, and then we got a flurry of -14s with Athabasca, Cold Lake, and Edmonton there. -17 down in Rocky Mountain House. Red Deer, nice and chilly today at -19. Whitecourt -13, Edson -12. You know what? It might actually be a good day for skiing out in Jasper, -6 for them today. On the Saskatchewan side, -19 in Meadow Lake, -16 in Prince Albert, -22 in Melfort, -21 in North Battleford, and -24 in Saskatoon. Taking a look down south, it's -23 in Kindersley, -19 in Swift Current, -16 in Moose Jaw, -20 in Yorkton, -17 in Estevan, and -17 as well in Regina for all of our friends in the Cal community down at Agribition right now. -18 for Coronation, -14 for Medicine Hat, -12 for Lethbridge, -13 for Calgary, Banff similar to Jasper, and warmer, -8. Taking a look at tomorrow's forecast here in the border city, we're going to have at 6 a.m. it's going to be minus 26 with intermittent clouds. Tomorrow at noon, it's going to be cloudy, back to warming up a bit to minus 20. We'll stay around that minus 20 mark into 6 p.m. And then at midnight, it will actually warm up a bit up to minus 16. Mostly cloudy throughout all of tomorrow. North Battleford is going to have a high of 20 for tomorrow. Very cold with some low clouds. An 8% chance of precipitation will likely be not a lot there. Cold Lake also going to have those low clouds and a high of minus 15. Then taking a look across everywhere else here for the travel forecast, minus 16 in Meadow Lake, Bonnyville. We're also going to see minus 14 and minus 18 with low clouds for Provost and Paradise Hill, and minus 15 in Isle Cross. They'll see some nice sun there though. Elsewhere, Miranum and Pierceland both at minus 15, low clouds for Miranum, and then low clouds in Unity and Wainwright as well, minus 17 and minus 15. And Calgary, though, nice and warm for them, a high of 0. Definitely appreciated once the cold weather has now hit them here. Taking a look at the upcoming 7-day forecast, we are going to see it be very cold and some 55% chance of snow there in the morning, and a minus 20 with minus 23 as the low. Next Saturday, or this Saturday, minus 17 with a low of minus 22. Mostly cloudy and very cold. Sunday, it will warm up a bit to minus 14 and minus 17, partly sunny, and so, but still really cold. And then on Monday, we'll have 55% chance of, next Monday, 55% chance of precipitation, a bit of snow early there, and it's going to be cold once again.
Well, it looks like, yeah, the cold weather is here to stay, but it does look like towards the end there, the days are a little bit warmer, so I'm hoping that wind isn't blowing too strong, so we can kind of maybe feel those, you know, mid-teens for the minuses there, you know, the minus 14s and the minus 10s. Well, I'm hoping so anyways. That's our first look, that's all the time we have today for Primetime Local News. Thanks for watching.